Hey folks, welcome back to the Feroz Moto channel. Today we have the awesome opportunity to compare a power retractable hardtop to a soft top on the NC Miata generation. Now this is a big topic of conversation when it comes to both these cars. Here we have an NC3 front end and an NC2, and we really get to hone in and see the differences when it comes to cars. So first off, this is a Grand Touring Spec 2012 NC2 Miata, and here is my 2014 NC3. So immediately the first thing you see are the different front fascias, but the main point of conversation today is comparing the soft top versus the hard top. Now there are some inherent benefits and differences. I want to say maybe disadvantages for some, but here it's the perfect comparison too, because we both have the same color. Now from the back you can kind of see the main difference here. With the power retractable hardtop, you have the ability to have a power retracting hardtop, which is nice. So we have a solid metal hard piece that kind of folds and goes up and down, and we will show you the difference there. But when it comes to my NC Club here, being the soft top rag top, we have the traditional soft top action that is all done manually. Now to demonstrate how it works with mine, this is the little wind deflector. John's here has a glass one, which is pretty nice, but typically I put this down, I flick this guy up where it kicks it. Sometimes it gets a little stuck because mine is a little annoying, but in the perfect word, you click this, it kicks it up like that, and then you lift this over. There's little hand points, you pull it over, go in, and then we can show you the latch. Make sure not to hit the door, which is right here. So you want to make sure it's touching, it grabs in and it clicks in, and that is that. So it's very easy to do that. To do it the other way, you click off on this guy, flick it back, grab one of the hand points, and then move it back down and it clicks in like that. So it's very quick and easy. Kind of love the simplicity of this and the look. I think once the top is down, this car line is really sleek and clean. Some folks like the look of this, where it kind of has like this kind of, I say like a neck fat or like a little hump in the rear. I find this to be way more classy. And for me, down the line, when it comes to doing a motorsport hardtop on this car, this is the way to do it. You cannot do it on these guys. So that is my choice. That is my pick. You cannot go wrong. One of the things when it comes to having a soft top, of course, is if you leave the car out into the elements, you have the chances of getting it all hurt. Fading, breaking, the glue can go bad, and it is very expensive to get these fixed. Now, for me, in my case, this was a well taken care of car, so I'm gonna try my best to make sure I keep continuing to take care of it. But once it comes to these guys, they are pretty stout. The only thing I know that goes wrong is the sun fading on these tops kind of go bad. But that's just due to the nature of the different metals and everything and the paint process back then with Mazda. So you might have a chance if you find these to be a little sun faded, and painting is not cheap, but also doing this guy too with the rag top, you have other options. So it is a win or lose situation depending on how you look at it. For me too, there is less of a weight penalty when it comes to getting the soft top. Of course, you don't have the mechanical system and the hard metal parts that are actually moving and transferring in the car, so there is some benefit there. I believe though, to Mazda's credit, they did a really good job in keeping the weight down. It's around 80 pounds more, say, less or more, I want to say, for the difference in these cars, and for all of it, it's not too much. And so we're gonna hop in and I'll show you guys what it's like to have the top go up and down. So we're gonna sit in here, close it, and then there is a button to do so. This guy, so here's the button here. So we have the close and open. I'm gonna turn on accessory mode. Okay, then we're gonna press this guy and we can watch the magic happen. So now it is going back, transformers more beneath the eye. It's gonna go all the way up and boom. So it's doing the final job in the back, and then the last part is we just have to close the latch. So that is done. To do it the other way, of course, you would just have to release and then press the reverse button, and then it does the same job. So it's not extremely quick, but I do know they sell controller mods that allow you to do it at any time. For this, I do believe you have to have the car stationary and stopped, and that's how that goes with that. So really not bad. I really like how well more insulated the car is. When it comes to, of course, being the road noise and everything, I must say this is a more robust and insulated package, but you really can't complain. It's really what you want at the end of the day. For me, I know that I'm going to eventually want to track this beast, and adding a roll bar is something of contention and importance, of course, to give you some safety in the you know, God forbid scenario that you will roll over the car. But for these guys, if you are a taller driver, fitting a roll bar that's compliant, your options are very limited that allow you to actually keep the mechanism to work fully. So I know there's a Cypress or Cybus bar that I've seen other people use. Actually, there's one over there that I can compare and refer to, but this is the OEM hoop stuff, and if you're a taller guy, it's just not going to work. So here we have an example of a roll bar on a power retractable hardtop. It allows you to still use the OEM retaining hardtop function going up and down, but also clearing it when it comes to a rollover situation. Now, you can see I'm not sure if this has the lowering seat bracket option, but it allows you to still be lower, and if you have a helmet, it might be really tight. So I'm saying if it comes to just having a car with a proper roll bar, I will show you the difference of that. But this is the PRHT, most popular option, I'd say, that still allows to retain the functionality of this car. It's still OEM plus clean aesthetic and gives you some safety rollover in that aspect. So let's hop to an NC and see a soft top, what it does with that bar. Alrighty folks, and this is a roll bar. So this is one of the Mad Dog or Hard Dog M4, I believe, for this car. And this is one of the examples you have on the soft top. So we still have the ability to reuse the soft top and everything, but it's definitely noticeably higher than what you would get on a power retractable hard top. So that is one of the big decisions and culprits and changers to have when it comes to these cars. So really got to see, if you're a taller guy, it's pretty much a non-negotiable, I'd say. And if you're really dedicated to this sport, I think soft top's just the way to go. Less things to break, less weight when it comes to the car, and more options when it comes to roll bars. So it really matters what's up and most important to you, but that's a good comparison between the two. Ideally, you can lower the seat brackets in the rear to sit you lower and have that working, but when it comes to SCCA compliant things, the easiest bet is to get a soft top. You just have way more space, less limitations when it comes to adding that down the road, and if you're serious about this, you don't want that weight penalty either. One difference too, I believe, as well, is these trunks are different metals. Mine's aluminum, this one is steel. Maybe to keep some rigidity or something going on, there is a difference, and some small little niggles and naggles that make it a little more different. But other than that, like I said, it is preference and aesthetic. If I was only going to keep it on the street, I would have done this route. It's just easier to keep. Tops don't have a problem. Insulated, safer too. You know, if someone has that open, they want it, they could easily cut the top, and that'd be, oh man, God forbid, I don't want to think about that. But there are some, I guess, security things and difference, and not that it's structural. Of course, I would say I think that fares a bit better in the case of a rollover. So I'm not sure, but I want to know what you guys did down below. Why'd you pick it and why you ended up being with this guy? But if you enjoy this content and want more Miata focused stuff, please let me know down below. This is your host, Ryan Feroz Moto, and I'll catch you in the next video. Thanks.